Imagine a beach on a scorching summer day. The air buzzes with the sounds of laughter, the splash of water and the cries of gulls. A kaleidoscope of humanity sprawls out on the sand, a tapestry woven from the threads of countless cultures and backgrounds. But amidst this vibrant mix, one observation often stands out: the stark contrast in skin tones, particularly the almost luminescent pallor of some beachgoers. It's a curious sight, this spectrum of human pigmentation, ranging from the deepest ebony to near translucent alabaster. The human story, much like the waves crashing upon the shore, is one of constant movement and adaptation. Over millennia, this dance between humanity and nature painted a masterpiece of diversity across our planet, with each skin tone a testament to the enduring power of adaptation. To understand the origins of the whitest skins, we must journey back in time, tracing the footsteps of our ancestors across the globe. Our journey begins in Africa, the cradle of humankind, where our species first evolved under the intense glare of the equatorial sun. Here, dark skin, rich in melanin, provided crucial protection against the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation. As early humans ventured out of Africa, migrating to different latitudes and continents, they encountered environments with varying levels of UV exposure. In regions further from the equator, where the sun's rays strike the Earth at a less direct angle, UV radiation is weaker. In these less sunny regions, darker skin, while protective against UV damage, posed a challenge to the body's ability to produce vitamin D. Therefore, in areas with less sunlight, lighter skin tones with less melanin to block UV rays evolved as a beneficial adaptation, allowing for sufficient vitamin D production. This process, driven by natural selection, favored individuals with skin tones best suited for their environment, ensuring their survival and reproductive success. The paleness of some beachgoers might seem paradoxical given their proximity to the sun. However, it serves as a reminder that human history is etched not only in our genes, but also in our cultural practices. For centuries, tanned skin was often associated with outdoor labor and lower social classes. In contrast, pale skin was seen as a marker of wealth and leisure, signifying an individual's ability to avoid strenuous work under the sun. Wide-brimmed hats, parasols, and long, flowing garments became fashionable accessories, shielding individuals from the sun's rays and preserving their coveted paleness. These cultural practices, passed down through generations, intertwined with the biological legacy of skin pigmentation, creating a complex tapestry of human adaptation and societal norms. In our ancestors, driven by a primal urge to explore and conquer new horizons, embarked on an extraordinary journey out of Africa. This wasn't a leisurely stroll, it was a relentless march northward, a generational relay race that spanned thousands of years and led them to the far corners of the globe. With each step, they ventured further away from the intense heat of the tropics and into realms where the sun hung lower in the sky, casting a cooler, more diffused light. Imagine their world, a tapestry of changing landscapes, from scorching deserts to windswept steppes and icy tundra. The sun, that life-giving orb, beat down less intensely in these northern latitudes, its rays slanting at a shallower angle. As they migrated, our ancestors encountered a curious phenomenon. Less sunlight meant less UV radiation, the invisible energy that can both nourish and damage our skin. In the tropics, high levels of UV radiation had favored dark skin, rich in melanin, a natural sunscreen that shielded against its harmful effects. But in these new, less sunny environments, melanin's protective shield became less critical. This migration wasn't just a physical journey, it was a biological and evolutionary odyssey. Melanin, that pigment responsible for the spectrum of human skin tones, is a double-edged sword. In high UV environments, it's a guardian, absorbing harmful radiation and protecting against skin cancer. Yet in places where sunlight is scarce, melanin can become a liability, hindering the body's ability to produce a vital nutrient, vitamin D. Imagine melanin as a set of blinds, on a sunny window. In the tropics, where the sun blares relentlessly, those blinds are pulled down tight, blocking out the excess light. But in the dimmer north, those tightly drawn blinds prevent enough light from filtering through, depriving the room of essential illumination. As populations migrated to regions with less sunlight, natural selection favored individuals with mutations that led to reduced melanin production. These mutations, passed down through generations, resulted in lighter skin tones, allowing more sunlight to penetrate the skin and facilitate vitamin D synthesis. This evolutionary trade-off, a delicate balancing act between UV protection and vitamin D production, is etched into the very fabric of our being. Vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, is more than just a nutrient. It's a key player in a complex biological symphony that orchestrates bone health, immune function, and even mood regulation. Our bodies can produce vitamin D through a remarkable transformation that occurs when sunlight touches our skin. Imagine sunlight as a sculptor, its invisible rays chiseling away at a block of marble, revealing the hidden masterpiece within. When UV radiation from sunlight strikes our skin, it interacts with a cholesterol-like compound, setting off a chain reaction that culminates in the production of vitamin D. In sunny climates, this process occurs efficiently, even with darker skin tones. But as our ancestors ventured into regions with less sunlight, their darker skin, designed for UV protection, became a barrier to vitamin D synthesis. Natural selection favored individuals with lighter skin, allowing more UV radiation to penetrate and fuel vitamin D production. This adaptation was crucial for survival, particularly in regions where dietary sources of vitamin D were scarce. Fast forward to more recent centuries, and the significance of skin color takes on a different hue, intertwined with social hierarchies and cultural perceptions. In many societies, particularly in Europe, pale skin became associated with wealth and leisure, a visible marker of social standing. Imagine a grand ball in an opulent palace. Ladies adorned in silks and satins, their faces powdered to achieve the desired pallor. Tanned skin, on the other hand, was often associated with outdoor labor, a sign of the working class who toiled under the sun. This societal preference for fair skin, driven by factors beyond simple biology, led to a curious phenomenon: sun avoidance behavior, particularly among the upper classes. Parasols, wide-brimmed hats, and long flowing garments became fashionable accessories, not just for protection from the elements, but as symbols of status and refinement. The irony, of course, is that these sun-dodging practices, while reinforcing social distinctions, could also have unintended consequences. Our planet, bathed in the warm glow of the sun, is a mosaic of diverse environments, each shaped by the angle at which sunlight graces its surface. This angle, determined by latitude, dictates the intensity and duration of solar radiation, a key factor in the evolution of human skin color. Imagine the Earth as a giant sphere tilted on its axis as it orbits the sun. This tilt causes different regions to receive varying amounts of sunlight throughout the year. At the equator, where the sun's rays strike most directly, solar radiation is most intense, bathing the tropics in year-round warmth and abundant UV radiation. As we move away from the equator towards the poles, the angle of incidence decreases. Sunlight strikes the Earth at a shallower angle, spreading out over a larger surface area. This results in less intense solar radiation, shorter days during winter months, and a cooler climate overall. Human skin color, far from being a superficial characteristic, is a testament to our species' remarkable ability to adapt to diverse environments. It's a spectrum, a subtle gradation of hues, each shade reflecting a delicate balance between UV protection and vitamin D production. Imagine a painter's palette, a spectrum of browns, tans, and creams, each hue representing a different level of melanin, the pigment responsible for skin color. Melanin, produced by cells called melanocytes, acts as our body's natural sunscreen, absorbing harmful UV radiation and protecting our skin from damage. In regions near the equator, where the sun's rays are most intense, higher melanin levels are advantageous. darker skin acts as a shield, preventing UV radiation from penetrating deep into the skin and causing damage to DNA, a precursor to skin cancer. Individuals with darker skin tones are better equipped to thrive in these sunny environments. As we move away from the equator towards higher latitudes, the intensity of UV radiation decreases. For those dwelling in the Earth's sun-drenched equatorial regions, sunlight is a constant companion, a source of warmth, energy, and life itself. But as humans ventured beyond the tropics, they encountered a world where sunlight was a more elusive guest, its presence fleeting and precious. Imagine a long, dark winter in the far north, the sun a distant memory, its rays barely gracing the horizon. In these high-latitude regions where the sun's angle is low and daylight hours are short, access to UV radiation, that invisible energy essential for vitamin D production, becomes a challenge. The human body, a master of adaptation, found ways to compensate for this scarcity. Over countless generations, populations living in these regions evolved lighter skin tones, reducing the melanin barrier and allowing more UV radiation to penetrate the skin. This adaptation maximized their ability to produce vitamin D, even with limited sunlight exposure. Vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, is a crucial nutrient playing a vital role in calcium absorption, bone health, immune function, and even mood regulation. Our bodies possess the remarkable ability to synthesize vitamin D through a process that unfolds when sunlight touches our skin. Imagine sunlight as a key and vitamin D synthesis as a locked door essential for our well-being. When UV radiation from sunlight strikes our skin, it acts as the key, unlocking the door and initiating a cascade of biochemical reactions that culminate in the production of vitamin D. In sunny climates, this process occurs efficiently even with darker skin tones. But as humans migrated to regions with less sunlight, their darker skin, designed for UV protection in their ancestral homelands, became a barrier to vitamin D synthesis. Natural selection favored individuals with lighter skin, allowing more UV radiation to penetrate and fuel vitamin D production. This delicate balance between UV protection and vitamin D production highlights the challenges faced by our ancestors as they populated diverse environments. While the evolution of skin color is deeply rooted in biology and adaptation to the environment, the perception of skin color, particularly in recent centuries, has been inextricably intertwined with social hierarchies and cultural biases. Imagine a world where skin color, a superficial characteristic, becomes imbued with meaning, associated with social standing, opportunity, and even worthiness. This unfortunate reality has cast a long shadow over human history, leading to prejudice, discrimination, and countless injustices. The rise of colonialism, with its emphasis on racial classification and the establishment of power structures based on perceived racial superiority, further entrenched these harmful biases. Skin color, a marker of geographic origin and adaptation to the environment, was twisted into a tool of oppression used to justify slavery, segregation, and other forms of systematic discrimination. It is essential to acknowledge this dark chapter in human history and to actively challenge and dismantle the remnants of these harmful ideologies. Sunseekers and shade worshippers, a tale of two cultures. Picture a world painted in broad strokes of sunlight and shadow. In lands bathed in perpetual summer, cultures evolved a deep respect for the shade. Clothing, architecture, and daily rhythms revolved around minimizing exposure to the scorching heat. Meanwhile, in regions where the sun's embrace is more fleeting, different customs took root. Here, sunlight was a precious commodity, savored and sought after whenever possible. Throughout human history, skin color has served as more than just a biological adaptation. It has been imbued with cultural meaning, woven into the very fabric of societal norms and perceptions. Like a silent language, skin tone has conveyed messages about identity, status, and belonging, shaping interactions between individuals and groups. Imagine a world where skin color, a superficial characteristic, becomes a potent symbol, freighted with assumptions and biases. In some cultures, tanned skin, a sign of outdoor labor, became associated with lower social classes, while pale skin, denoting a life of leisure and privilege, was elevated as a mark of beauty and refinement. These cultural interpretations of skin color, often arbitrary and unjust, have had far-reaching consequences, shaping social hierarchies, influencing opportunities, and fueling prejudice and discrimination. Understanding the historical and cultural factors that have contributed to these perceptions is crucial for dismantling these harmful biases and fostering a more equitable and just society. The language of skin, like any form of communication, is complex and nuanced. By recognizing the interplay between biology, culture, and social conditioning, we can begin to challenge ingrained assumptions and appreciate the beauty and diversity of human pigmentation in all its forms. The Industrial Revolution brought profound shifts, including a new leisure class. Factories transformed economies, creating wealth and free time. Seaside resorts became the perfect place to flaunt leisure. Pale complexions signified the ability to avoid the sun and indulge in leisure. Sun avoidance became fashionable with parasols and wide-brimmed hats. The world today is a melting pot, a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of countless cultures and ethnicities. Globalization, with its unprecedented levels of human mobility and interconnectedness, has blurred geographic boundaries and brought about a fascinating interplay of cultural norms and genetic legacies, particularly when it comes to skin color. Imagine a world where the sun's rays paint a global tan line, a testament to our shared humanity and the ever-evolving story of human migration and adaptation. As people move across continents, bringing with them their unique genetic heritage and cultural perspectives, the concept of skin color as a fixed marker of identity becomes increasingly fluid and complex. The rise of tanning salons and the popularity of sun-kissed skin as a symbol of health and vitality in some cultures further complicate the narrative. What was once a sign of outdoor labor has been rebranded as a desirable aesthetic, a testament to the ever-shifting sands of cultural trends and the malleable nature of beauty standards in a world where the sun's rays touch us all, albeit with varying degrees of intensity. Understanding the interplay between our biological inheritance, our cultural conditioning, and our personal choices is paramount. The global cocktail genes in a blender. Our world, once a patchwork of distinct populations separated by vast oceans and towering mountain ranges, is rapidly transforming into a global village. The free flow of people, ideas, and genes across continents has created a fascinating genetic cocktail, a vibrant blend of ancestral lineages and a testament to our interconnectedness. Imagine a bustling metropolis, a kaleidoscope of languages, cultures, and, yes, skin tones. Here, the descendants of sun-kissed islanders mingle with the offspring of pale-skinned northerners, their genetic legacies intertwining with each generation. Love knows no borders, and neither does the intricate dance of DNA. This global mixing pot has resulted in a fascinating blurring of traditional racial categories, as individuals inherit a mosaic of genetic traits from their ancestors. A child born to parents of different ethnicities may possess a unique skin tone, a beautiful amalgam of their heritage, defying easy categorization. This genetic fusion, far from being a modern phenomenon, has been a recurring theme throughout human history, albeit on a smaller scale. From the ancient Silk Road to the age of exploration, trade routes and migrations have always facilitated the exchange of genes and the creation of hybrid populations. The sunscreen paradox, protecting our pigment of history. In a world increasingly obsessed with youth and beauty, tanned skin has become a coveted symbol of health and vitality in many cultures. Yet this pursuit of a sun-kissed glow often comes at a cost, as excessive sun exposure can damage our skin and increase the risk of skin cancer. Imagine a sunny beach, the air thick with the scent of coconut oil and the sound of crashing waves. Beachgoers lounge on colourful towels, their bodies glistening with sunscreen, a modern-day armour against the sun's harmful rays. But what is the impact of this widespread use of sunscreen on our skin's evolutionary legacy? Sunscreen, while crucial for protecting our skin from the damaging effects of UV radiation, also blocks the very rays needed for vitamin D production. This presents a modern-day dilemma, particularly for individuals with darker skin tones who require more sun exposure to synthesize sufficient vitamin D. The key lies in finding a balance, a delicate dance between protecting our skin from harm and ensuring adequate vitamin D levels. Experts recommend moderate sun exposure along with a diet rich in vitamin D-rich foods to maintain this delicate equilibrium. The vitamin D deficiency, when modern life leaves us feeling sad. Modern life, for all its conveniences and technological marvels, has also ushered in a curious paradox, a rise in vitamin D deficiency even in sunny climates. Our indoor lifestyles, coupled with concerns about skin cancer, have led to a decrease in sun exposure, depriving our bodies of this essential nutrient. Imagine a typical workday, spent indoors under fluorescent lights, our skin shielded from the sun's rays by layers of clothing and concrete walls. Even during leisure hours, many of us find ourselves glued to screens, our bodies starved of natural sunlight. This lack of sun exposure has consequences, particularly during the winter months when daylight hours are short. Vitamin D deficiency has been linked to a range of health issues, including weakened bones, impaired immune function, and even mood disorders like seasonal affective disorder or SAD. The good news is that vitamin D deficiency is preventable. Moderate sun exposure, along with a diet rich in vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, eggs, and fortified dairy products, can help maintain adequate levels of this crucial nutrient. In a world often fixated on superficial differences, it's easy to forget that beneath the surface, we are all members of the same human family. Skin color, a beautiful and diverse tapestry woven by nature, should be celebrated as a testament to our shared heritage and our species' remarkable ability to adapt and thrive in a multitude of environments. Imagine a world where children, their faces aglow with laughter, see beyond the superficial, recognizing the common humanity that binds us together. A world where differences are celebrated, not feared, and where skin color, like the color of our eyes or the shape of our noses, is simply another thread in the rich tapestry of human diversity. Achieving this vision requires a conscious effort to challenge ingrained biases and to promote understanding and empathy. Education, open dialogue, and celebrating the contributions of individuals from all backgrounds are essential steps towards creating a more just and equitable society. The journey towards embracing the spectrum of humanity begins with recognizing the beauty in our differences and recognizing that our shared humanity transcends the superficial. It's about celebrating the richness and complexity of our human family in all its shades and hues. As we've journeyed from the sun-drenched savannas of Africa to the breezy shores of today's beachfronts, one thing is clear: the story of human skin color is far from over. Imagine a future where the lines between ethnicities blur even further. As globalization continues to shuffle the genetic deck, will we embrace this diversity, celebrating the richness of our human spectrum? The future of our species is a story yet to be fully revealed. The beach, with its eclectic mix of sunbathers, serves as a microcosm of our diverse world, a reminder that beneath the surface, we are all connected by the common thread of humanity. Imagine a world where we view skin color not as a barrier, but as a bridge, united by the common bonds of humanity. So let us raise a glass, my friends, to the remarkable journey that has brought us to this point in our evolutionary odyssey. A toast to the power of adaptation, to the resilience of the human spirit, and to the beautiful diversity that graces our planet. Let us marvel at the intricate workings of nature, the subtle interplay of genes and environment that has painted our world with such a vibrant array of human hues. Let us celebrate the fact that we are all, in a very real sense, children of the sun, our very existence intertwined with the life-giving energy of our nearest star. And as we bask in the warmth of this shared heritage, let us remember that the story of human skin color is not merely a tale of pigmentation, but a testament to the enduring power of adaptation, the beauty of diversity, and the boundless potential of our species. May we continue to write this story with wisdom, compassion, and a deep appreciation for the remarkable tapestry of life that surrounds us.